Okay. Whoops. Rainbow, rainbow. I don't know where the rainbow went. There we go. Okay. Sorry about that. Got bumped out taking screenshots. So, feelings. So I'm going to talk about, I'm in my feelings chair. Today the feeling I'm going to talk about is fear. And I had the hardest time with this part when I was doing the dress rehearsal. Sorry, I hate this makeup. I'm just trying to get the rainbow in my head. I had the hardest time with this in the dress rehearsal, but talking about a feeling, because another segment in the show is about the mind-body connection, and that ends up talking about feelings. But first I'll just try to talk about a feeling. So I picked fear, because I think there's a lot of fear right now. I still, even with doing a dress rehearsal, I don't know what to say about fear. I know how to feel it. I know where it sits for me. I know that it's a combination of a feeling in my skin, thoughts running in my mind that won't stop running. I think it has a good biological component, like keeps you from just, you know, like if you're a deer and you're on like squishy land and then suddenly you're on hard land and it's like, wait a minute, this doesn't feel natural, and then it's because you're in the middle of a highway. Like, fear is useful. Like, if something feels off, like fear is meant to save our lives. Like, fear can be good. However, I think right now, where we're at, it's important to recognize when any emotions are taking over. Sorry, I'm on this weirdo makeup just for the rainbow. And I think that fear is a very poisonous emotion that takes over our whole bodies. I think the antidote to it is love. It can be self-love. It can be others' love. It can be love of an activity. I watched a show recently that said that you are your own medicine. And it was saying that if there's something that you do in your life that takes you out of time, that makes you feel joy, that makes you feel love, the opposite of fear. So for me, it might be baking, like badly. I was going to say music. Music's my obvious one, but it could be anything. Anything that takes you out of time. It could be making jokes with a friend, a boyfriend. It could be anything that takes you out of fear and puts you in the now, puts you in your joy. Because some people can't just get present. I didn't used to be able to just get present and be present. So a similar feeling to presence would be joy. And I've approached a lot of my younger life tackling fear like it was a problem. But the problem with tackling fear like it's a problem is that then you are going down what feels like a rabbit hole into your life, like assessing your life like a problem. You're assessing problems like a problem, and you're generating more and more and more bad feelings, more and more fear. And so to stop the fear loop, you have to choose to do something that takes you out of that. You can't, it's that, you know, old saying that you can't fix a problem with the same thing that creates the problem. So I can't be afraid of my own fear. I can't fix my fear with anything that resembles fear. So love, for me, is the only thing that gets me out of it. And you can't just think about love. Like, you have to be like, I'm going to go to the piano and I'm going to just play soothing music. And that will start to pull you out of the fear. So that's the feeling your feelings portion. For today, I'm going to tackle a different feeling every show. Okay. Next is other rambles, a.k.a. right now. Someday this will have like fancy title cards, but like I said, I'm starting this show like years early because I'm just feeling bad for everybody feeling a lot of things when, you know, I've been working on feelings for like a decade, and I feel like this is something that I like to share about. So, okay, other rambles, a.k.a. right now, a.k.a. how I do presence work. So presence work is just what it sounds like. It's just getting really present. I need to change filters because I'm on to a new segment. Let's see. We'll do this. Cool. All right. So presence work is just getting real. That's really distracting. I don't know if I can handle that one. Nope. Sorry, guys. This is early. I'm very new. No. We could do that, but that's a little strange. Sorry. Ow! I'm pushing all the rainbow ones. I did look at these ahead of time, but I just can't remember what. I can't remember where the ones are that were kind of basic. I think this is one. All right. Getting present. So how do I do presence work? If you turn it into too much of a chore, you kind of can't do it. Like, it needs to not be a chore. You just need to get present. Now, how do you get present? Like, being present will start to eradicate fear. So you feel your breath. So right now I'm like, I'm breathing. Take a really deep breath. Just be like, And you just start breathing. So it's like, cool, I'm breathing. Breathing is good. Now, what if you start breathing and becoming really present, and in the moment of becoming present, you start feeling afraid? Well, that gets back into feeling your feelings. Like, you could do something that feels loving. So, like, for instance, that's why I surround myself with so much cute stuff. Here, let me flip this around. I will show. They look kind of crazy with this filter, but, you know, I have lamb slippers on. Like, why not? If every time I look down at my feet I feel joy, that can eradicate fear. I have these little Adidas pants that my parents got me when I was hanging out with them. I have weird, cute little rainbow things all over my house. Me and Brian's house. I have books I like, you know. So when you're getting present is all about being aware of your surroundings, being aware of how you're feeling. For some people, being aware of how you're feeling is actually distracting from being present. So then just bring it right back to how you're breathing and just being present. It's being aware of where you're at right now and what you're doing. Like when I was doing my dress rehearsal for this, I was showing like, oh, here's my skirt and here's my sweatshirt. And I wanted to start rambling about this music festival that we play at. But then I was like, well, that's not being present because I'm going into a story in my head. And so stories in your head are not present. But the problem with like meditation apps is like they might tell you like, oh, that's thinking. Just label it thinking and let it go. And it's like some people can't. I couldn't for a long time. I can now. But I've been working on this stuff for like a decade. And like even so, it's just not rocket science. Like if I'm feeling a lot of feelings, I can't just be like, oh, thinking, and then feel some blissed out Zen state. Like that's just not, I think, how feelings work. So you breathe. You can't really try not to think. Like if you need to get present, I'll give you, this is my number one tip. I'll probably bring this up in every show. If you really need to get present, like if you're really getting lost in your mind, lost in fear, lost in a lot of things, and you really need to get present, this one works for me every time. It's kind of hilarious, but you just pretend that you're 1 year old again. Or if you believe in past lives or something, you could imagine, like, if we have to be here, if that were true, you know, you don't get to control that. Like, that's not up to you. And so you're stuck in some little 1 year old body. Yours, imagine your own past, or imagine right now, you don't have the ability to move and talk and make choices, and you're just in your little 1 year old body, and you're in the room that you're in, and you're in the place that you're at in life, and you have the people that you know in life, and everything that is a reality in your life is not something you have control or agency over. You're some little 1-year-old. You're just in that room. Hopefully you're not crying, and you're just there. And the literal only thing you have to do for entertainment is you can just look around the room. You can just see stuff in the room. And if you imagine that you're 1 year old, then you can bring it back to like how joyful or how stimulating the tiniest things might be. So like that lamp over there, you know, here, I'll flip it for you. And then I'll narrate. So, I kind of need a different filter so you can see the truth, the reality of this moment, which would be that you are just present. I'll put the little hearts on it again. Here we go. So you're just here. You're just in the room. And you're just like, oh, there's a lamp. Maybe you like your lamp. Maybe you look at the plants. You just kind of look at them. They're cute little shapes, right? They're flopping around. Oh, I can't zoom. I'm trying to zoom. And... or maybe you like that little rainbow pillow, and you just stare at it. Like, my obsession with rainbows probably comes from my childhood bedspread that I just stared at all the time as a kid. You know? So if you're a pretend 1-year-old right now, and you don't need to try to get present, you just are present. Because all day, all night long, just kind of unfolds, and that's all you can do is just stare at stuff. And you just look around. Nothing to do. So this is one of the best ways that I know for getting present, is to just... Observe your room with no agenda. Observe what's right in front of you with no agenda. And the easiest way for me to do it is to pretend I'm like 1 year old. I don't know. It works every time for me. But maybe it didn't used to, so no shame if it doesn't work for you. Okay, I should move on to the next segment because this is going on for a long time. Hi, new people watching. Aw. Hey, guys. I'm scrolling to see who's here. Oh, wow. Thanks, everyone. Okay, I've already done like 7 segments. There's 3 more segments. Oh my gosh. The show's kind of long. It's longer than I was expecting. But I am going to, just to reiterate, I'm going to start doing this every day at 11 Eastern time. And I'm going to try to develop my show on the fly. Because this is a show I thought I wouldn't do for like 2-3 years. But I don't know. I just feel like it's a good time in the world to share these types of thoughts and feelings. So. The next topic that the next segment of my show is spirituality. I did already in my reading segment a few segments ago talk about spirituality, but now this segment is supposed to be about my own mind, different topic every day, it says. So I did a dress rehearsal of this, and I can't remember what topic I talked about. Maybe since it's the first show, I'll just say an introductory type thing, like, I have been all over the map with spirituality. I had a phase where I was an atheist, an agnostic. My grandma was a nun at a time when I was agnostic, and she helped me through a lot of really hard feelings. I do believe in God. I feel uncomfortable talking about it a lot of the time because of being part of the music industry, and I know there's a lot of complicated feelings around that for a lot of people. I see a lot of band pages and profiles that have 666 in it, and I mean, it's very spirituality and religion is such a humongous topic that I don't even know why I want to tackle it. I don't think I want to tackle it. I just want to feel free to share about things that are helpful to me. So that's maybe all I'll say on spirituality today, since this one's going on a bit long, and I already randomly shared the Lord's Prayer and my own feelings about it. And how comforting it is for me. So, but yeah, it's a topic that I will try to get into as this show goes forward. Okay, next. Almost done. This segment is called Your Body and Mind. This might be the one that's the most important, and maybe the biggest reason I want to do this little show right now. It's a pretend show for now, but it could be a show someday. I'm just, for now, just trying to use my time and use my life to do the things that I say I'm going to do later. Anyway, I need a new filter for my next segment. Let's see. That's a bunny rabbit. Oh, I think this one was good, but I don't remember what it was. Oh, it's just flowers. Okay. So, your body and mind segment. This is about the connection between your mind and your body, what I'll do every time I get to this part of the show is I'll pick a body part that's feeling intense feelings. Right now, let's see, in my dress rehearsal it was my heart. Let's see what it is right now. Right now it's my mind, actually, but I'm a little scared to go away from whatever I talked about in the dress rehearsal. But this has been nothing like the dress rehearsal, so I don't even know why I thought it would be. Okay, so I'll talk you through how I do this. Basically, a therapist taught me this like 10, 15 years ago, that you can place your hand on a body part that's feeling a lot of things, and you can have like a dialogue with it. So, and of course, it's just your own like active imagination kind of processing your feelings. My mind is feeling overstimulated. It's feeling vulnerable because I'm sharing a lot of things. It's feeling conflicted because I want to be helpful in the world, but I'm not sure, as a true introvert, I'm not always sure if being extroverted is helpful because my ways of being are either so weird or so unformed and unstructured or just confusing, or whatever peaceful energy I have when I'm alone, when I go to do something more extroverted, that peace kind of goes away. And then I just kind of become a stress ball. And so I'm feeling conflicted about, you know, my dress rehearsal was just me and my phone alone. And then even if I share it, well, then if you saw it later, then that's different than going live. And when you go live, you know, all the thoughts and feelings of that moment become part of the experience for me and then back for you. And that's pretty intense for me. So that's how I work with my body. That's sort of how I develop a mind-body connection, is I just try to become aware of whichever body part. Sometimes, some mornings, it's like every body part is like freaking out at me. It could be physical pain, it could be emotional pain, mental pain, spiritual pain, it can be anything. Social pain, and you know, the one I did in my dress rehearsal moment only like 30 minutes ago was my heart. My heart was freaking out because it was nervous to go live. And so it's just a very comforting practice to not just think about fear or think about an emotion and not just feel an emotion, but in this like generic way, but like literally learn to connect the emotions to the parts of the body where you're experiencing them. Yeah, common ones like your gut. You got a feeling in your gut. You got a feeling in your heart. Maybe you've got like your throat feels tight. Headaches. Tops of headaches. Yeah, it helps. All right, so 2 more segments. The next segment is, okay, hold on. Let me see if I'm charged enough to have unplugged. I think so. I'm going to play a Jessica and the Rainbow song. And I think it'll stay. Let's see.